Hey folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks channel. Today I'm going to give you an update and maybe some information you hadn't heard about. If you happen to own a Smith & Wesson Shield EZ, and they make a 380 and a 9mm in that gun, and there's been a couple of instances that Smith & Wesson is aware of now where they've had accidental discharges, so they've created a recall situation, and Smith will help take care of that gun for you. But I want to show you what they're talking about. The reason there's a recall. But if your gun was made between March 31st of 2020 and October 31st of 2020, you may be affected in that situation. All right. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. We have an example of that gun. This one actually will be sent back to the factory. This is the Performance Center version, and I'm gonna pull the slide off of it and show you what the recall situation is about. So we'll just rotate our disconnect button, take a slide off here. And what we're talking about is, according to the recall, the hammer was cracked, and that causes a situation where it does not fully engage on the sear, so the hammer could release without pulling the trigger. Okay, and I'm going to give you exact location of what we're talking about, the hammer. And this is the hammer right there. Okay, when you pull the trigger, normally this hammer flies up, smacks the back of the firing pin. That's what knocks your cartridge. Okay, and the sear is the part that engages the bottom of the hammer, connects it to the trigger. Okay, when you pull the trigger, then your sear releases, and the hammer flies up and makes the cartridge fire. Well, in the recall, they said that the manufacturer of this hammer part was defective. So apparently it's not a part that's made by Smith & Wesson. So I'm guessing that wherever they got the parts from probably has some either defective materials or defective in the process as far as hardening, and they ended up with some cracks on this sear, and it would not engage completely all the time. So in that case, what would happen is if you had a gun with manual safety, even if the manual safety is in the safe mode, it's not going to fire. But if it's in the fire mode and you had a grip on the gun, your grip safety is depressed, if you put the slide down and let it, let's go ahead and cock it, we'll show you what I'm talking about. If you had the magazine loaded, and so if you had to slide back like this, you had the magazine loaded, you got a grip on the gun, if you hit the slide release button and the gun slams shut with that cartridge in it, if you have the defective gun, it could potentially fire without touching the trigger. And if that happens, the gun cycles, you could very well end up with the gun cycling and what's called slam fire. Every time the cartridge is slammed into the chamber and the slide closes, the hammer would hit and could fire the gun multiple times without even touching the trigger. So not a good situation. However, what the recall is talking about also is if you do not have the grip safety depressed, the gun still will not fire. Okay, so your safety is doing something in that case. But anyway, that's what we're talking about. So if you have an EZ Shield and you've got it dated manufactured from March 31st, 2020 to March 1st, 2020 to October 31st, 2020, then you could be involved with a recall. Good grief. I'm having a hard time talking. It's late in the evening, y'all. I'm getting tired. Anyway, you can go to the website for Smith & Wesson. It is mpshieldezrecall.com, and you can put your serial number into that website address and find out if your gun qualifies to be recalled and have the hammer replaced in it. Otherwise, you can call 888-871-7114 and talk to the Smith & Wesson representative there, and they can help you with that situation. Okay, and we'll put this address on the on our screen here and let you guys take that off if you need to give you more details about it. Anyway, and as far as you can look at the box, if you bought your gun new or if you have your original box, I want to show you. This is not an EZ Shield. It's another M&P product, but the dates on the box will be the same orientation. So if you look right here, right under the model number, you'll have a date code right here. This is 11/06/20. that means this gun actually was manufactured November 6, 2020. And if your gun, your EZ Shield, you look for that number right there, just between October 1st or March 1st and October 31st of 2020, then I suggest you contact Smith & Wesson and see if you need to send your gun back for a recall situation. Okay. Anyway, I hope that helps you a little bit about understanding what the recall is about. And there's been only 2 situations so far that we're aware of where they have had a damaged gun that caused an issue. So, anyways, hopefully Smith & Wesson is taking care of that situation and nobody gets hurt with it. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know if we can help you with something.